Hello, is somebody in trouble? The van is being shaken, so there's a little bit of urgency in getting away, I think, at the moment. We're beginning to get a little bit of parking mayhem in this road now. So Carol just tried to charge her phone and found that the USB socket was dead. Thanks for cooking.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Yeah, will do. Morning everyone. That was a windy night and the storm is coming in again today. So we got to be out of here by 10:30 because we're going to have 65-mile-per-hour winds down here by the beach. So we'll relocate inland a little bit somewhere. It's looking a little bit miserable out there at the moment. Here comes a brave soul looking for a walk. Also, to report, my Jackery was totally flat today because I forgot to turn it off. Silly boy. Has begun. I want to get out of here. The van is being shaken, so there's a little bit of urgency in getting away, I think, at the moment. Your boots on. We've fallen into a nice little routine now, each of us having our own departure tasks. We've got the routine off pat now, haven't we, really?
Yeah.
Let's pack up, we can do it quite quick.
That cable's on the floor again.
Oh no, I'll put it back in a minute.
Rogue one.
We'll get away from here, find a safer haven.
Where does that little cable live in the tray?
Yeah, I'll do that. Well, you can do that in a minute. We're waiting for the heating system to shut off. Very important that you let that shut off before you start doing anything else with the engine. We've just dropped off all the rubbish. Charlie Brown is in the loo. Thank goodness this little place is here. And I'm not going to take you out there, but these, the howling, they are really singing to us today, aren't they? This storm is really coming in now. I wouldn't normally drive in these conditions, but I didn't really want to stay down there in such an exposed spot. So we will find somewhere better, I think. Charlie Brown is in the loo. She's going to have a shock when she opens that door. Careful in your door.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying your little camping trip, Charlie?
It's challenging.
Yeah, fun though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay, let's get out of here before it gets even worse.
Yeah. Excellent.
No. People without vans probably think that these days are horrible, but to us it's all part of the fun. He just thought he could get through, but he's had to turn around.
Oh yeah. We're heading to Boscombe because there's an Argos there, and we're going to pick up a blender that we've ordered for the camper van, and we're going to cook up some soup either later on today or tomorrow.
I'm quite surprised that the wind doesn't seem to move the van around as much as I expected it to. This engine is absolutely wonderful at creeping. 4 miles per hour in first gear allows you to pace yourself when you've got hold-ups like this. You don't have to keep going in and out of gear. All this way to get a blender. I really hope the soup is worth it. Everything is flooding at the moment. Sadly, it's focusing on the rain rather than the river. Nearly there. This is what we got. A Russell Hobbs Go Create hand blender, 200 watts, which works fine with my little inverter. So now we can have yummy soup.
You'll be rustling up the soup later then.
I will.
Okay, now we got to check the weather app.
Yeah. What's it saying?
Well, obviously there's.
Is it still getting worse?
Yes, but there's areas.
Yeah.
It's obviously worse on the coast.
Yeah, so we're going to stay away from there.
Thinking if we head further inland.
I vote we go back to where we were last night, in that nice big open car park, because then there's no trees, and we can even angle the van to face into the wind there, can't we?
Yeah. And
then we'll stay there as long as we need to until it's calmed down, and then we'll go back to our campsite. We painted that. It's very impressive.
It's impressive, isn't it? Oh.
I'm not slamming the anchors on a greasy road with a vehicle behind me. Always beware of slippery roads if you've had long days of sunshine preceding a heavy downpour. What a lot of people don't realise is when it's dry, grease and rubber builds up on the road surface, and when it rains it becomes slick. I don't think I've seen the forest so wet before.
Get out when we need to.
This little lake wasn't here yesterday, was it?
No. To us for the day. The view of the forest.
View of the forest.
But wind's more important.
Wind's coming that way. So this is a good place to see out the rest of this storm, angled into the wind. Got to get the lunch on now, haven't we, puppy?
Yeah. So what do you want? Should we have the
Ham and cheese, toasted sandwich.
toasted? Yeah.
Sounds good to me. You making that and I'll make dinner?
Sounds good to me.
The big unboxing of the 2-speed 200 watt blender, Russell Hobbs.
Removable leg.
And now apparently the end bit can be tricky to put on, but all the reviews said it just takes a little bit of practice.
Yeah, I get on then.
Yeah. What's in the box?
Cable attached to the top.
Got to work out a place to keep this yet, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's sort of more bulky than our one at home, isn't it?
Well, maybe we swap them. What wattage is the one at home?
Don't know, we'll soon see. Once we've had an inverter fitted, it will be able to run anything up to 1,000 watts. That's the business end. It'll get its first trial tonight with a bit of soup, won't it? Yeah, 2 speeds. Yeah. Good.
Yes.
We got one.
Longer than the one at home.
An arduous drive to get it, but worth it.
Something to do, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think somebody's learning to drive in this red car. This is jolly tasty. I think it's brightening up. Did you say there's more coming in?
Yes. Yeah, it looked like there was clear patches in between, like 2, 3, 4 o'clock, and then another wave comes in from the west.
Okay. I'd have scoffed that by now. So Carol just tried to charge her phone and found that the USB socket was dead. And I think that's probably my fault, because I was messing around trying to use my little 300 watt inverter to put some power into this jackery down here, which is completely flat because we left it switched on. And that, I think, has blown the fuse. So I'm just going to check that to see if that's the situation. Well, it would have blown the fuse because clearly it was drawing more than it could handle from the 12 volt socket that was driving the inverter. So rather than burn the socket out, you've got to burn the fuse instead. So it's one of these here. I think it's this one. So I'm going to put the camera down and try and get it out. So I don't know if you can see that, folks, up against the light, but that fuse is blown. So it did its job. Well done, fuse. Now all we got to do is source a new one. Bunny, can you see? Have a look at it. Can you see that it's blown?
What, at the bottom?
You see where the metal goes up in an arch, and then there's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what a blown fuse looks like if you ever
Okay.
have to fix one. That's what it looks like when it's been blown.
Yeah. Okay, good.
There's your training.
So that's a 10 amp.
10 amp red ones. Looks like we could go shopping again.
Didn't we have a pack of amps?
We have, but unfortunately I can see them where they're sitting in the garage at home.
Oh, we didn't bring them. Okay.
I think I used to be in the Scouts. Did you? Be prepared, Ken, be prepared. Right, we're on a fuse mission. Let's go and get them. We're going to go to Halfords because we know for sure they will have the fuses. There are a couple of nearer options.
Did you turn the tracker off?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
There are a couple of nearer options, but they might not have them, and we might still end up in Halfords. So let's just go straight to the main man.
Space for us? Yes, there is room. Oh, and there's room.
You may have realised by now that finding park-ups in the New Forest is quite challenging. We know these potholes like the back of our hand now.
Perfect.
Come on in, let's go and have a look. I might be a fat lad, but don't think I can't run. No damage done, and we saved the hat. Well, we're all safe and sound now, back in the van. The fuse has been replaced and everything's working, and I've now managed to start charging the jackery just using the 12 volt cable. Why I didn't do that in the first place, I've no idea, but anyway, live and learn. Right, let's get the gas on. Right, let's get some of this in the pan. Oh, it's shaking this van, isn't it? Whoops, daisy. Okie dokie, let's get these in the bin. Whoops, on the floor. Sack the chef. Okay, put it in carefully. I'll put it in that fire, shall I? See how we get on. Hey bunny. First time we cook one of these in the van, haven't we? Let's see what it's like. That looks tasty.
I'm gonna have brown sauce on mine.
Right at that point, but we're going to make the most of it as well.
It's another day and I still can't focus the camera.
For lunch we're going to have homemade celery soup. I'm just going to chop up this bag of celery.
It's the Easter weekend and this place is packed. Everybody is desperately trying to park, even in the puddles.
Okay, it's all done.
That's
Whole
all
bag.
done. Now I will get this on the boil with some milk. Right, that's in there with some milk and salt and pepper to taste. And when it's nearly ready, I'll put some butter in as well.
Well, what more do we want? We've got our own ice cream van now.
Just don't get run over getting one. This is just on the lowest setting. That'll do.
Homemade celery soup.
Yeah, hopefully it's nice. It's alright.
Lovely. Fresh celery. Nice.
Fresh celery, can't beat
Delicious.
it. With bread and butter, yummy. Okay, enjoy. We're beginning to get a little bit of parking mayhem in this road now. And it's all getting a little bit too close for comfort, with people trying desperately to squeeze in. We'd have to reverse all the way up the road. We can't sit in the van all day. The sun's come out, so let's go for another walk, shall we? Apologies for the wind noise, but I haven't got a muffler sorted out for my new super zoom camera. Well, as you can hear, that wind is still strong, but it's absolutely beautiful out here. These birds know where to hide, behind the shingle bank. It's a good job your hat didn't blow off down here, Bunny.
I know. Yeah. Pleased to know I've got it back.
Yeah.
Back in situ on my head today. Safe and sound.
No one can see it, you're in silhouette. Hello, is somebody in trouble? Now this is where a super zoom comes into its own. Looks like there's something down on the beach there. Can't quite make it out with the naked eye. I assume we've got big rocks underneath where that white water is. It's quite fierce. This little launch is the ferry that runs between Keyhaven and the fort several times a day.
The tide here has caused part of the original wall to collapse onto the beach. Well, it was built in the 1860s and 70s, so it was quite fragile, I suppose. They've blocked off the beach to stop you going in case any more collapses while they investigate the damage and do repairs.
Helicopter's still there, look.
Oh yeah. Do you reckon they're practising then?
Yeah, of course they are, yeah.
Yeah.
If that was my drone, it would have run out of puff a long time ago. It's quite surprising to see how long they kept him dangling, going backwards and forwards along the beach there. Still, you've got to practice.
Oh, that's the cafe.
Cafe, Bunny. Go in then, shall we?
Yeah.
Have a plan.
Lovely.
Remind you we close at 5:30.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
Yeah, we'll have a quick look round. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, that's good.
Cheers. No, we've only got a little bit of time for a quick look round, haven't we?
Quick scoot round, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
There's a photo of the damage. Quite substantial, isn't it?
yes, it was. I remember seeing pictures of it.
The castle was built on the orders of Henry VIII between 1541 and 1544. Apparently it was used to detain King Charles I before his execution in 1649 as a result of the English Civil War. It played a role in both world wars, forming part of the network of defences around the Solent. It was rearmed and modernised to meet the needs of contemporary warfare. The castle's location on the Hurst Spit allowed it to control the Needles Passageway, a narrow channel between the Isle of Wight and the mainland. It was decommissioned in 1956 and handed over to English Heritage. Well, all we got to do is walk back now.
Okay, so this is what we're going to be having tonight. We have the award-winning pork sausages from the Crow Farm shop. I'm going to have them with some Korean barbecue rice, and then I'm going to make a onion and pea sauce to go with it. How's that sound?
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Get cracking.
We've got the sausages frying nicely here, and then over here I am frying the onions in some butter. And when they've softened, I'm going to add the frozen peas and cook them off. The peas and onions have been cooking for about 5 minutes, and I've seasoned them with salt and pepper. Now I'm going to add a spoonful of flour thicken them up and to make the sauce. Just stir the flour in and then add the milk. Add as much milk as you want to the consistency that you want, and just bring it to the boil and make sure you cook it for a good 2 or 3 minutes just to cook the flour, and it'll be ready. And the rice has just gone into the hot frying pan, and I'm going to cover that and give it a couple of minutes just to heat through. You probably think it's a bit of a strange mix to have Asian rice and then a white sauce with peas and onions, but we're just using up the ingredients we had and trying to just cook the meal in 2 pans.
And it'll taste yummy. Bangers, yummy. I'm looking forward to trying these award-winning pork sausages. Now this is my favourite sauce. My favourite onion sauce. Don't normally have peas in it, but it's because we didn't have pans to do it separately, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just so easy to do it that way. We did have pans, it's just that we like to try and be as one pot as possible. Delicious, Bunny. Thank you very much. Thanks for cooking.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Yeah, we'll do. Cheers.
Cheers.
Sharing a bottle of Guinness. Let's have a look. What are these sausages like? I'm rather particular about sausages.
Very nice.
Are they nice? They are delicious.
Nice amount of herbs, aren't they? Seasoning.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this scoffed.
Thanks very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video.
If you did, then please give us a like. The most important thing you could do to help the channel would be to share us on social media. That really helps.
And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and tune in next Friday for the next episode.
And we'll see you in the next one.
See you then.